it's the same thing with, why sacrifices,
Wait,
why
wait, wait,
God
wait, wait.
implemented
Hold
sacrifice,
on.
even in the garden.
Like, like, what punishment are you referring to?
Well, like, even since the beginning, like God said to Adam and Eve that, like, because you have done this, you will, or the day you eat of this, you will surely die. It's like that's the punishment
Yeah, but
for
that's not the,
sin
okay.
is.
But so that's not our punishment today, by the way. But the only punishment that appears in the Torah for violating the Torah are punishments on earth for the most part, and things like if we honor our parents, we'll have a long life. But in terms of heaven and hell,
Mhm.
and choosing the right path because you're scared of the consequences of the bad path, i.e., hell, is antithetical to the Torah.
Well, no, no, no. But like the problem remains is like you can call it death, but it's ultimately separation from God. That's the problem. That's what
I
why
don't think
God
that's the
sent.
problem. I don't think that's the problem.
I think
And the
that's exactly
separation
the
from
problem.
God.
Like, because like the whole point is that we had God in the garden, right? Adam and Eve had,
No, I get
like,
it. I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, but nowadays, trust me, like, we've been a long way from the garden. The consequences of sin is a lot more real than just not being around God. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, people embellish this idea that they want to be hanging out with God the whole time and worshiping Him. That sounds unhealthy and weird to me. Okay, God
Well, yeah,
wants us
yeah,
to enjoy this life. And I'm just telling
yeah.
you, the average person says things that they can't even identify with.
No,
Right?
I agree with you. And like, there's a joke in a lot of like Christian churches where it's like, oh, is heaven just going to be a like eternal worship service? And like, no, it's not going to be the case. It's going to be, it's heaven and earth, like God's space and our space, like, you know, put back together so that we can do all the things that we do, on earth, and like being fruitful and multiplying and to build things and to do great things, but without sin. Like that's
Oh,
the
that's
that's the
problematic.
goal.
Right. So God's going to give you a religious lobotomy.
The problem is that we won't have any need to sin, right?
No, that's
Because
what I
God will be there.
mean. Well, so your free will essentially be taken away from you.
Well, that's a honestly, it's a great question, and I don't really have a good answer for you on
You know,
that
it's a
one.
New Testament idea. Well, okay. Truth be told, it's not just a New Testament idea. There's many Jews who believe it also, and I view it problematic. But I
Yeah.
mean, Maimonides disagreed, by the way. Like, he
Oh,
said
sure.
nothing's going to change in the Messianic age, with the exception that Israel is going to have sovereignty to rule themselves. The idea, I wouldn't want to exist in a life that I don't have free will in, right? I mean,
Yeah.
to live without making any choices of right and wrong for myself, or paying or risking consequences. That's not life for me. And of course,
Well,
it doesn't mention that in the Torah, by the way.
yeah.
The Torah
Again,
is our main
it's
book. The only revelation humanity ever received from God was the Torah, right? I mean, at least from the Jewish perspective. Okay, that's
well
all God
from
had to tell
from
us.
one Jewish perspective. Let's argue that.
No, I think it's pretty unanimous that progressive revelation doesn't exist in Judaism.
So even when it came to all the, I mean, okay, well, we don't have to get into that, but
Okay,
so
no, here,
yeah.
look, I'll give you some ammunition. There are Jews who believe in what's called Kabbalah,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
really a
mean,
huge
they are
thing about
things
Kabbalah.
that clearly don't appear in the Torah, right? And they don't align with the perspective of Maimonides. Okay, but for the most part, I mean, the Torah doesn't endorse, or at all does not endorse, progressive revelation, because it's very dangerous. If your religion keeps on progressing in a theological manner, the religion you end up with is not going to resemble what you started off with. I think this is pretty clear.
No, I'd
So
agree
this
with
is why
that.
the Torah doesn't allow new things.